and welcome back. Now let me fill you in case you live under a rock. Samsung has teamed up with Halo, and Samsung has actually challenged me to recreate one of Master Chief's new tools from Halo Infinite. So to inspire me a little bit, Samsung sent over this brand new Neo Q LED TV. This thing is absolutely gorgeous, but what's even more gorgeous is when you turn on the screen. It's absolutely perfect for gameplay, and it literally could not be a better fit for a new game like Halo Infinite. Oh, wait, you see that right there? That right there, that's what we're making. So let's get started. The first things first, I actually used Blender to model everything. Master Chief's forearm, his handplate, the arrow, the actual grapple shot itself, because come on now, we actually want it to look like Master Chief. And I 3D printed it all out of Polymax PLA, which is a PLA plus, so it should be strong enough to hold whatever weight we have on it. And while this stuff was printing, I couldn't help but think about how we're gonna actually make this thing shoot, right? Of course it's gotta be functional. And what better way than just using compressed air? So in terms of making it functional, we've got a couple different parts. First off, we have a Schrader valve, and this is what we're gonna use to load the pressurized chamber with air. You typically find them on tires. It'll let us pump air in, but won't let the air out. Second of all, this is gonna act as our pressure chamber. It's basically just iron pipe with fittings on the ends, and this is what's going to be holding our air. Now, originally when I went shopping for parts, I may or may not have accidentally ordered parts that ended up making a chamber this big. But yeah, that would have been overkill. I mean, we're obviously going for strength over compactability, but like, that was a little much. Finally, we have our solenoid valve. This is a normally closed solenoid valve, and it opens when you give it power. So we're gonna tack this to the end of our pressure chamber, and then I'll be able to press a button when I wanna release the air. So I have a 12-volt portable charger, but maybe you can hear it when I turn this battery pack on. You may hear a click, and that is the valve opening up. So altogether, it looks a little something like this. Obviously, it kind of extends the entire length of my forearm, so I'll have to make a brace for the back. But in the end, I think it'll be worth it. I could have gone for a more compact design and try to keep it inside the forearm, but let's be honest, I think this is gonna be more fun. So now I'm just sealing up these threads with both Teflon tape and Teflon paste. We're gonna be pressurizing this chamber to about 100 PSI, so making sure everything's sealed up is pretty essential. So this was the first test run. It did all right. This was maybe around 60 PSI, and the projectile flew around 25 to 30 feet. But I think we can do better. All right, so that did okay. Obviously with the big chamber on the back, I was expecting a little bit more. So while thinking of ways to try to make it a little stronger, we actually discovered that the solenoid valve that I'm using currently only has an orifice of about 2 millimeters. So it means we're pushing air from this reservoir through this tiny hole into a bigger barrel. So if we want more power, we're gonna have to try a different valve, which is why I got the exact same type of valve, but bigger. It still runs off of 12 volts, but it has 1/2-inch threads, and the orifice on this thing is around 12 millimeters. So that's literally a centimeter larger than the last one. So we're gonna replace the valve, and then something else that I thought would be helpful is we're also just gonna attach a pressure gauge to the end of it. So if we want to, we can use those CO2 canisters if we're on the go, and we can see exactly how much pressure we're putting into it. Okay, so we added that new valve, and we also added a pressure gauge, so we know exactly how much pressure we're pumping it full of. Now we're gonna shoot it, I guess. Before we used a compressor to fill it up, so we knew exactly what pressure we were putting in there. But now that we have the gauge, we're just gonna use the CO2 canister. That's about 80 PSI. When I hit this, it hopefully should go further than it did before. Oh, buddy. I think that went pretty far. It's about 25 more feet than it was last time, and we haven't even really pressurized it to its maximum. Next step, I think, is gonna be definitely, obviously this is a tiny hook, okay? So we're gonna design a new hook or new projectile, one that fills up the entire inner diameter of this barrel, because this one has a lot of play. Besides that, we just gotta also sand and paint everything too. I forgot about that.
Hey Emily, weren't you sanding?
Yeah, I'm just taking a break.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Don't you have to post a video soon?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Alright, so what I'm actually doing here is something I did before I sanded all the pieces down, but I did want to show you. Here I'm attaching pieces permanently, and to do that we're using 3D glue, which is like a ridiculously strong adhesive for 3D printed parts. In addition to that, I also modeled a brace to hold up the entire contraption because, you know, it's pretty heavy. It obviously extends the length of my forearm. I ended up using the 3D glute to attach this as well and had zero problems. Alright, I'd say now it's time to compare it to the real thing. Why not? It's like it's the same, except, you know, got a giant chamber on top of mine.
And the one on the TV is in 4K.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's on
And
the
it's
TV.
brighter too.
Yeah. I know. Okay, so obviously we could have tried to make it a little bit more compact and fit it inside the arm, but why do that when you could get this much power instead? So we have it filled up right now. It's at about 70 PSI. All right, now we're gonna try to hit some of the bamboo, I guess. And we're gonna hope it doesn't go inside the bamboo forest where we have to go find it. One thing to also remember is safety first, right? All right, 3, 2, 1, yeet. Join Master Chief as he goes to find his arrow that's somewhere in a bamboo forest. You know, I'm pretty sure Master Chief had a string on his grapple shot, probably for this reason right here. You know what would have been smart is, since I don't have a string on this as of now, painting it something that's not black. Neon colors. We're waiting for this truck that's backing up to finish backing up. It's been backing up for what, 5 minutes now? Okay, now we have a smaller arrow. Obviously it doesn't look as fun, but like I think it's gonna go a lot further. This is 100 PSI. I'd say it's going about 50 feet. Now we're gonna shoot over stuff, because like if you don't do that, then what's the point? Oh, that was off. Ah! Whatever. Ah! No! Ah! So, ability to aim, a little subpar, but it still shoots, and that's kind of what matters here. So that's about it. I'd say I did okay for never building something like that before, but also I do have a surprise for the people that watched till the end of this video. Samsung has been so generous as to help me give away one of these Samsung Neo QLED TVs to one of you guys. I'm actually giving the TV away over on TikTok, but all you have to do is comment on the TikTok that I link in the description and follow Samsung US on TikTok. That's it. And you could possibly win one of these suckers. So don't miss out. If you're into gaming, this TV is a dream. The TV itself actually reduces lag with AMD FreeSync, and the processor in it produces a beautiful picture. So be sure to head on over to TikTok if you're interested. Good luck. Thank you, Samsung, for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching it, and I will see you in the next one.